I'm here with the CEO of People and Places, Mr. Nabil Amasha. I have prepared a few hundred questions because I'm very intrigued about you as a developer. I'm very intrigued in the name, your projects, and all the newness that you are bringing into the market. First of all, let's start with People and Places.
Yeah.
Such a special name.
Yeah.
Tell me more about it. How did it come
Well,
up?
you know, People and Places is really real estate, right? Real estate is places with people. And when we thought about that, we thought, you know, when we were starting the company, me and my two partners, we thought, how can we do real estate differently? Because a lot of, you know, the business at that time was always focused on the places more than the people. So I said, you know, when you look at this business from the perspective of the customer, everything changes. And we decided that this is the way we're going to do things differently. We're going to think about people, how they behave, their communities, their lifestyles, what their dreams are, and break down even the moments of their days, of the day, and come up with places that actually fit these experiences that we would like to provide people. So we have a very interesting philosophy about that, which is we look at real estate as software and hardware. Software are the living experiences. And if you study the living experiences very well, then you're able to design the hardware to fit the living experiences and not the other way around. And that's how our vision of doing real estate differently.
When did you launch People and Places?
We're a young company. We're 3 years old today.
Today?
Yeah, not
Happy
today.
birthday.
This month.
Okay.
This month. This month.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years actually. Last July, and it was a beautiful union between my partners, Mohammed, Karim, and Khalid Al-Assal, who have a real estate development business. But they wanted to do something different. I've been somebody who was in the business of real estate for the past, I don't know, 20 years or so, with mega developers putting their strategies and in the Egyptian market mostly. And we had this amazing kind of connection. And we set out our journey at that time to do something different, to do something that is in the high-end segment, but done differently, done with a human touch or with heart. And today we're about to start delivering our first unit. So our dream is coming to reality.
That's very exciting.
And very excited about that. Yeah.
So talking about different, most of the people that I asked about People and Places, and I shared with them that I'm coming to Egypt and I'm meeting with you, they told me they are different.
Yeah. No, well,
explain to me the different part of People and Places.
I think that's it. I think we're different because we keep it real. We speak from the heart. We design from the heart. We don't compromise on quality. We don't compromise on the details. And we have this authentic kind of feel to what we do. And that's why people are, you know, are more engaged with us than the rest. And I believe that authenticity is a thing of the day, and I think it will continue to be what people will look for in the future. There's a lot of artificial stuff going on. And so, you know, I would like to be called the authentic developer.
So is this why you have turned more into creating communities?
Yeah.
As opposed to like standalone villas or like real estate, which is what people know.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people actually create communities.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because communities is about people, right? Without people, there is no community. You know, like you have a few homes, and that's not really a community. So when we think about communities, we think that, yeah, we serve an overall large community, but within that community, there are smaller communities. And each small community has its own kind of lifestyle. And so we decided that we're going to we're going to design for these lifestyle, like I said, people and places. And really, when you think about it, think about your friends or think about, the people around you. You will definitely see people who are interested, for example, in, high performance people who wake up the 5 a.m. club, wake up early. They want to, they're very focused. Even when they have fun, they're focused when they're having fun. And they're very much into wellness, into fitness, into exercise. And so we created a community for this type of demographic, this kind of psychographic profiling, we call it. And we designed the homes fitted with exercise equipment. We designed the amenities around the home so that people would be encouraged to have a jog in the morning, to have a swim.
So it's a full concept of, so where, as you said, the software is matching the hardware, and people that will be interested in choosing this community, for example, are people that tick certain boxes.
Exactly.
So how many communities or how many verticals did you manage to divide the social circles that we currently live in?
So today in our project, the Med, we have 5 communities.
Okay, so the wellness people. Who else?
So we have the wellness people. We have the young families who are looking for a very serene, kind of quiet lifestyle. So we created a community full of these beautiful lagoons and small waterfalls, so that it has that feeling, which is.
So when you say small family, it means it's kids friendly.
Kids friendly.
Okay.
It's quiet. It's serene. It doesn't have all the
parties,
all the partying scene. And we also created a community for young adults who enjoy, the outdoors, who enjoy music, who enjoy to enjoy just having a barbecue outside. And so we created a community that is fully serviced, almost resort-like, for this kind of community. And we also have communities for bigger families, bigger homes, the grandparents and the parents and all the kids. So, and this is a very high-end kind of community with full sea view homes that is under construction today. And we also have a smaller community where, it is for maybe adults that are single or but are older, who don't need a big house, who just need a small house, but that's directly on the sea, fully serviced, fully furnished. They want to pamper themselves. They want to take a break from the family.
It's amazing to see your approach to this, because we're used to these communities where they try to fit in something that it's like one size fits all.
Yeah. When you walk into a beautiful village in the south of Italy, and you feel this, you feel uplifted. Why is that? Because when you're walking around, everything catches your eye, because everything is authentic, everything is different. Every house has this feeling, has this twist, has this personal touch of its owner. And so you're almost reading stories as you're walking down the street. And that's what we feel is missing in real estate today.
But isn't it more costly to take this tailored approach? Because
it is.
Usually bigger developers would do that because they're mainly thinking about the bottom line, right?
It's not about cost. It's about the effort. It's about how much heart and brain you're going to put into it. So, for example, in the Med, we have about a little over 70 designs.
Wow.
70 different designs.
70 designs? I'm going to ask you about each and every one of them. These were 70 of my 100 questions. Huh? That must be a challenge with your design team.
Because it is. And really, we work from our heart. We have a lot of passion to create these things. But then now these 70 designs, we start to kind of take that as a base and start to alter it a little bit.
70 designs over how many units?
These 70 designs are spread, I think, over probably 400-500 units.
Wow.
The total number of units of the project in the Med is little under 2,000 units. So it is a very boutique development, but we believe that the real value of this development will happen when people start to walk around within
It's in
these
the
neighborhoods.
spirit.
They're going to get a completely different experience than what you get with, with the rest of these, other communities
Then
or
what's
developments.
the DNA of people and places? Describe for me people and places as an organization, as a developer. What's the spirit? Like, what is people's perception of this brand?
People's perception, you have to ask the people, but I'll tell you what we set out to do. So we're here to give people authentic living experiences. And how do we do that? We're inspired, and we have three main values. The first value is that we believe in authenticity. We believe in originality. We don't believe in the factory production line and mass production. We believe that homes, at the end of the day, are the most personal thing you have. They have to be a representative of your personality somehow, or of your life, or of your lifestyle. So authenticity is very important for us, and we really think about how we translate that in our designs and our amenities and everything that we do. The second thing is sustainability. We really care about the communities that we are building these communities in, so the surrounding communities. We care about the sustainability of the environmental aspect of what we do. Real estate is one of the most polluting industries in the world. It's the number one pollution source. And so we're very, very concerned with sustainability. Third is behavioral. So the third is that we are youth inspired. We believe is that something has shifted in the way, in consumer behavior, in the way people live. Maybe 30, 40 years ago, my generation at least, or the generation little after me, X and Y, people, when they were young, used to look up to the older generation. We used to look up to our parents, or this teacher, or an older CEO, or whatever it is. Today, it's turned around. Today, I look up to my daughter. I see what my daughter does, and I follow her. We believe that they are our ultimate consumers. Yeah, we cater to their parents, but we believe that they will be the people that will live, that they will live in these communities, and we need to think about them and to keep them in mind.
So, what value is non-negotiable?
Honesty.
Honesty. Okay.
In our business, everything that you produce, integrity and honesty, everything that you produce, whether it's a render, because people buy off plan, remember,
Yes.
right? So here, your integrity, your honesty is on the line with everything that you show people. Any picture in a brochure, any word, we have to be very honest in what we show people, because that's how people decide. So there's no negotiation on that. I look at a lot of these things and I say, no, this does not look real. You need to make sure that it is as per the dimensions that we will produce, and we will not overpromise. And if people are going to be surprised, let them be happily surprised with what we do.
I've been in real estate for many years, and usually it's very hard to have a product that is appealing aesthetically, and at the same time, that same product being practical and functional and really serving the people that are using that space. How do you balance this? Like, I've had my share of fights with designers. How do you balance this?
We have a very good partnership with our design firms and with our design team, and we're always focused on having that balance between function and form, which is a very important part of the design principle that we have. So we want things to be functional. I don't want corners of the house that are unused. I want every corner of your home to be used to where you can have an experience in. And we come from that, at least myself, personally, I'd like to do that in my home. And there's a lot of effort that goes into that. But I think we managed to do that.
So the preparation is extensive before you actually launch a product.
Yeah.
How scalable is this business?
Well, like I said, we will have a very strong base of designs. Our design library is...
Yeah, you've already thought of almost every single scenario.
Our design library is extensive. And therefore, our ability to come up with new designs becomes easier now. Because we've gone through all the, the difficult part, الولادة المتعسرة, you know what I mean? So we went through the pain, the growing pains, and now I feel that we are much stronger, much more capable of actually scaling this.
One feature that you felt after you saw it and you decided to implement it and you were like, we are different. One feature.
I'll tell you a bit about a design of a home.
Okay.
That was very different. So the traditional twin villa. Twin villas are normally attached.
2 units on the bottom and 2 units on top.
No,
townhouse.
Twin villas. They're 2 villas that are attached side to side.
Yeah.
And that's a very nice product because you get a villa, but it's not really a villa, right? Why? Because you enter from the same side. So you see your neighbor all the time. And you're attached from the side, so the entire house is connected to the other house. So the noise and the sound issue is an issue. And then your garden is right next to your neighbor's garden. So you can smell what they're cooking, you can hear what they're saying, you can there's no privacy unless your brother is living. Even your brother.
No, I don't want. Thank you very much. No family members.
So I said, how can we do a twin villa differently? How can we give the owner all the features and the functions of a standalone villa, but still be able to use the land and the property in a more efficient way so that I don't have to sell it at a very high price? And I said, why don't we connect the villas from the bottom? Once you connect the villas from the bottom, then you have your entrance is on this side of the road, and your neighbor's entrance is on that side of the road. And we created the villa in a U shape so that you have a court in the middle where every single room of the house overlooks that court. And that court is your garden. So it is completely isolated from the garden of your neighbor. And the U Villa was born. And it's our best-selling product in Hills of One. And we had to actually register that as a new design.
Trademark.
Within the...
new design. I thought you trademarked the idea. Okay, we spoke about the 5 different communities. Nabil Amasha, which one would you buy in? Which one would you be living in?
That's difficult because really every home, I really imagine that I'm living in that home.
Yeah.
And that I'm buying that home.
Would you buy in the wellness community? Where do you find yourself more? Or which one, or in the young one, or the young adult, or which one?
I have many sides, but I think I love the designs that we did in Luma. And Luma is the sea view villa community that is built on 6 platforms. And the majority of the homes are 1-level homes. But in Luma, there's one design that is really special, which I was inspired by the Malibu, Malibu in California. I was inspired by these homes that are directly on the beach. And we created a house, a villa, that has almost like a twin character. So it is a 2-story house, but it feels like a 1-story house. Because the majority of the home is on one level, and you have a garden, you have an infinity pool that overlooks the beautiful Mediterranean. And at the same time, you have another part of the house which has another garden and another pool for the kids, so that you can have your own, kind of
Space.
a space, and they can have their space, and you can meet somewhere in the middle. And so that Malibu inspired home would probably be my choice. I think it's just an ingenious design that really combines form and
I
function.
find that there is scarcity of single-level villas in the market in general.
The majority of our homes in Hills of One are single level, which is our project in Cairo, in the west of Cairo. And a lot of the homes, most of the homes in Luma are also single level. Gorgeous homes, very simple, but they'll take your heart.
I'm going to go back 3 years ago. What was the first project that you launched?
We launched the Mid.
The Med.
Yeah, we launched the Mid right before summer, and we had a partnership with Campbell Gray, which is a British Lebanese hotel brand, and we launched our first beach residences, branded and serviced by a small boutique Campbell Gray hotel on the beach. That was a massive success. Then we launched Waterfall, which is that village for the young adults that is quiet and serene. Then we launched Mediterranean Villas at that time, which is the villas that are on the Sea View Villas for the bigger extended family. And since then it's been a very rewarding journey.
Okay, and Luma is your latest launch?
Yeah, Luma is our latest launch. And actually, we're also extending the launch of our, remember the high performance village, the active living village called Geo. And we're launching villas. And in this village, this is very interesting, because what we did is there's this beautiful high-end luxury gym chain in Egypt called LA7. And we came together and we decided that we're going to launch the first wellness and fitness hotel in the region.
Wow.
So we took that hotel, the LA7 Wellness and Fitness and Spa Hotel, and we anchored the village, which is called Geo, with this hotel. So all the residences that are in Geo, some of the residences in Geo, are actually serviced by LA7. So if you want your protein shake, you get that.
Smoothie.
If you want to hire, a trainer for the day, and we fitted these homes with actual what we call fitness walls. So it's a cabinet. It's a nice, beautiful wooden cabinet that acts as a nice feature in your home. But you open it up, and it's a gym. You open the cabinet up, and then you have your pull-up bar come down. You have your bench press bench come
People
up.
People buying in need to do a body mass index test.
No, they don't.
No,
do that.
you accept all applications. Okay. So currently we have units available in Luma and Geo, right?
Yeah, we have units available in Luma and in Geo, and I believe we have some units remaining in Laguna Gray, which is a serviced residence in the Med as well.
All your products are villas, or
no, we have multifamily and single family. So the single family, we have villas, standalones.
I mean, no apartment building.
We do have apartment buildings. We call them chalets in Sahel.
Okay.
But they're not really big apartments, so they're not really big apartment buildings, so you don't feel like you're in a big
20-30 square
complex.
meters, or what's the size of chalets?
No, the chalets are 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom, so they start from 90, 100
because
meters.
Because in Lebanon, chalet is 20 square meters.
That's what I'm saying. In Egypt, a chalet is an apartment unit
next to the beach
in a coastal development
community.
So we have, like I said, 70 designs. So we have a full range of products.
Can I be the investor now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the entry level into your projects? How much is it, and what would I get?
You can get something for, you can get a 2-bedroom for around 11, 12 million, up to 14 million in Geo, for example, in the active living village. And that's
What is that in dollars or dirhams or?
That's about $250,000.
Okay.
And you pay that over 8 to 10 years, depending on your payment plan. And you receive the unit within 4 years.
For a 2-bedroom in Geo, in the chalets, you're looking at 12 million Egyptian pounds, which is around $250,000, which is around 950,000 dirhams. So what's the down payment?
You pay 5% down payment.
5%.
And then another 5%.
So that's $12,500 as a down payment. And then?
And then another 5% within 3 months.
Okay.
And then you pay over 8 to 10 years, depending on the payment plan that you choose. You receive your unit within 4 years.
I pay up to 8 to 10 years, so I will get handover of the property, and then I will continue paying for another 6 years.
Yes,
let's
exactly.
say.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
So you'll pay. You would have paid around 50% of the price of the unit by the time you receive it, and then the unit is delivered to you fully finished. So ready to move. You need to add some furniture, and we were planning to add the furniture service as
furniture package. Okay.
As we start delivering units.
Starting is $250,000 up to
all the way to $4-5 million.
$4-5 million. Yeah. I'm assuming these are the grand houses directly on the water.
That's right.
That's still quite competitive. It's finding a beach house that is directly on the water and knowing the quality of the beach in Sahel, this is still something that is competitive nowadays.
Well, I believe that when you're really looking at this type of an investment, you have to look at the big picture of the destination in general. Where is this destination going? Not just our project, but the entire destination of Sahel. And for people to understand that, they have to understand the scale of what is happening in Sahel. And I believe that this piece of information is under a lot of investors' radar. They're not seeing it yet, because what is happening in Sahel is phenomenal. We have, only in our area, which is the Ras el Hekma area, combined with the Ras el Hekma development by Abu Dhabi, we have close to 50 to 60,000 acres under development. Now, for you to just get a kind of wrap your head around this number, that is 3 times the size of Barcelona. 3 times the size of Barcelona spread on the coast. That's about, I would say, around 60 kilometers of coastline. And that is all under construction today. So you can imagine what this will look like in 5 to 10 years.
What happened? How did this start? Because suddenly we started hearing about very prominent figures in the UAE talking about Sahel. Walk me through the past 5 years. How has it been in Sahel from a development point of view, the infrastructure that has come in and is yet to come in, as well as the price, where it started and where it is now, and where do you believe it's going to go? That's one question, by the way.
That's like so this is not 5 years ago. We have to go back maybe a little longer.
Okay.
Sahel originally was a local summer destination for Egyptians. Schools end and everybody flocks to
Sahel,
the north side of Egypt. Before it used to be Alexandria, and then people started to move westwards slowly, and they started to migrate until they came to where we are today, which is the area between Sidi Abdurrahman or Alamein area, all the way to Marsa Matruh, which is about 150 kilometers of coastline, 250 kilometers of coastline. And it started out as a local destination. Schools end, people go to Sahel. And then, as the Dubai
Foreign
developers,
investment.
the Dubai developers started to come in, we started to look at Sahel differently. We started to say, why can't Sahel be an all-year destination? How can it become an all-year destination? And then the government started to invest in the infrastructure. The government played a major part, to the government today, in building the infrastructure for what is really today is Sahel. So they built a whole city called Al Alamein city, and they started to invest in the road network, in creating a much more kind of accessible. All of these properties became accessible. So it's as if they've opened up the arteries of life. And all of these developers and developments started to
Flourish.
spring out of that. And of course, a big part of the tourism today in Sahel are high-end tourists that come from the Gulf because of the weather and because really, they used to go to Europe. And isn't it much nicer to come to Egypt and to be amongst what you feel is family and people who speak the same
And
language,
friendly people that are hospitable, that
everything
are-
is easy and everything. And of course, the prices are fantastic. And so it became like, where has this been?
Who are the buyers?
The buyers today are
Is it still dominated by local?
Yeah, a big part of it are Egyptians, but there's also what we call ELAs, which is Egyptians living abroad, and those could be dual
Or
nationalities.
LLA, Lebanese living abroad, because I personally
LLAs,
thought.
yeah. And today we're definitely seeing Gulf nationals buying. We're seeing in our property some Europeans buying, and that used to be around 5 to 10%, maybe 10 years ago. Today, I would say it accounts to 30 to 40%.
Wow.
And this is where I believe, the change will happen from a summer destination to an all-year
all-year
destination. Why? Because local Egyptians come and they are basically, they just come and spend the summer holiday after the schools are over. And that's why Sahel becomes just busy during that time. But Europeans and Gulf nationals and a lot of these tourists are not really tied to schools ending and schools starting. They just want to go and spend a nice holiday whenever the time allows them to.
Yeah, there's school holidays.
And Sahel, believe it or not, is beautiful in the winter. The water temperature is amazing. It's sunny most of the time. There's some rain showers. Maybe you can take out a month or something out of Sahel, but the rest of the time, it's incredible.
How many degrees is it like? It ranges from
nothing. The water temperature, I think, is like reaches maybe the lowest would be what, 18 degrees, 19 degrees. Now for the locals, this is cold. But for Europeans,
no, it's
this
amazing.
is nothing.
It's perfect,
right? This is nothing.
So we were discussing the growth of the infrastructure in the area. I know that there is a new airport that is coming up. Can you tell me more about that, and how close is it to your project in Sahel?
There are two airports right now that are very close. So of course there's the original airport, which is Burj Al Arab Airport, which is quite far. It's closer to Alexandria, which is about maybe 2.5 hours away from our project, an hour away from the Sidi Abdurrahman area. But now, today, there used to be an airport, which is a small airport called Al Alamein Airport, which is much closer to our project. I would say around an hour from the project. And that airport has been kind of upgraded. And I believe that there's, now today there are airlines from the Emirates that are landing there. Originally,
direct flights to
Al
Alamein.
Alamein.
Wow.
Of course, private jets land in Al Alamein Airport. So a lot of people, a lot of this kind of community with with their own planes, or when they come as groups, they take a plane and they come. But today, this airport is receiving charters from Italy, and it is also activating the airlines from the Emirates, and I believe soon from the KSA.
Nice.
In addition to that, Ras el Hekma, I also believe that they are, of course, working on an incredible infrastructure project, because, like we said, they are building a city, and they're building their own airport, which will be, I believe, used by people visiting
And
Sahel.
it will add value to the whole
It will add value.
area.
In addition to that, like I said, the government has paved an entire highway of, I think, there 8-lane highways that is connecting the entire coast, and there's an electric train
Uh-huh.
that will take you from Cairo all the way to Ras el Hekma in about half the time it would take you if you're driving.
When do you think that will be ready?
That train, I believe, is expected to be done within the next 12 to 24 months. So a year or 2 years, the train will be ready.
Wow.
We're
Just in
already
time for your project.
for our projects, yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe that you can you can see the train today. You can see the train tracks. You can see the construction of that train, and it's an electric train. It's a high-speed train, so going to be very well served. So it'll be much easier for you to come to Cairo,
Yeah.
to the Sphinx Airport, which is where our other development is located. Visit the museum, the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is planned to open, I believe, within the next 2 months, 2 or 3 months, which is going to change the entire area of West Cairo. So you can go visit the sites, visit the museum, ride the train, and you're on the
Straight.
coast within 1.5 to 2 hours.
Wow, that's going to be a game changer.
That's going to be
for
a
the
game
whole area
changer,
there.
especially for the high-end tourist.
Yeah.
Remember,
And they get to see both parts of Egypt, because now you feel either they're going to Sahel or they are coming to...
today they can conveniently land in Cairo, spend a couple of nights there, and spend the rest of their holiday, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 days on the coast. So that's definitely going to attract a very different kind of tourist. I believe it's going to be high-end European, American, Asian tourism. The convenience of just being able to ride the train and be on a beachside, beautiful resort, and you have so many options, is going to be irresistible.
So, Nabil, for property investors,
Yeah.
okay, usually we buy property either hoping for a capital appreciation or looking for a regular rental stream.
Yield, yeah.
So, someone buying a property in, or they want to live in it themselves and enjoy their time. Someone buying a property in Sahel, what are they going to get?
Expect in terms of return are 2 things. The return will come from the capital appreciation, which is the appreciation of the unit itself, which is really driven by the appreciation of this entire destination. The entire destination.
Because of the infrastructure
Because
and
of
the
the
market
infrastructure.
becoming mature and...
Like I said, there's 3 times the size of Barcelona being built. So you can imagine the scale of that and what that will mean to each unit. At the end of the day, a lot of these destinations, whether Bodrum in Turkey or even some of the destinations in Spain, some of the destinations in Europe were built like that. The influx of tourism will be a game changer in terms of the prices of the properties, which will also spill over on the rental yield. Because I really don't believe, no matter how fast we go, we will not be able to build enough hotels to cater for
accommodate
these
the-
tourists. And we also understand that no matter how many hotels we build, there's still the Airbnbs and all of these property management,
Short-term rental
shorter
properties.
rentals. And people would like to do that, would like to enjoy a more authentic experience. So they will take, the 3-bedroom house on the beach and enjoy a completely different experience.
Especially
of Sahel.
people that are coming for an extended period. Yeah.
So today, we see people earning a yield of about 10% just by renting for the 2 months of the summer.
10% over the
of
full...
the price of the property.
So let's say the $250,000 that I bought the chalet for,
Yes.
I'm making
You're making
$25,000?
$20,000 a year by renting your property
2 months.
over 2 months, short stays. So 1 week at a time, and there are lots of property
Operators.
managers and operators who are, providing these services.
Wow, this is insane.
Yeah, and,
So
and you can imagine how this will
later,
look
as
like
as this period starts to stretch
to
throughout the
expand.
year,
Yeah.
and more infrastructure
Yeah.
coming in,
Yeah.
maybe universities, maybe schools.
Universities,
It's
schools,
inevitable. It's gonna follow.
absolutely. And I believe one of the biggest drivers of actually making this dream a reality, or this vision come to life, are the people of Abu Dhabi, who are really investing heavily in the infrastructure in Ras el Hekma, and that will completely change the property values of every developer on the coast.
Can anyone buy a
Any-
property in your communities?
Yeah, anyone can buy property in our community.
Regardless where they live, regardless what their nationality is, it's open for everybody.
We're open. Of course we follow the Egyptian law, and the Egyptian law is pretty flexible. And I do also believe that there's a lot of steps that the Egyptian government is taking towards making it easier for people to obtain a residency, for example. So if they're looking for longer stays, longer than the 6 months that their tourism visa would get them, then they would be able to obtain a residency if they bought a property, and so it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, let's say I'm interested. I get in touch with one of your representatives,
Yeah.
right? They are all based in Egypt.
They're all based in Egypt. That's
Okay.
right. So you will call them.
They will help us choose a unit.
You'll choose a unit, and then you'll make a transfer for that unit, and then you will receive a contract.
Okay. So what documentation will you require? Just a passport copy?
Your ID. You fill out an application with your
KYC,
KYC,
your
your
details.
place of residence, and what you do, and all of these things. And then
You transfer the first payment.
You transfer the first payment.
And if I live abroad, I don't need to provide post-dated checks?
You don't need to provide post-dated checks. You wire transfer the money. You pay on time. Then everything is good until the time of receiving your
Unit.
property. Then you would have to come, make an inspection of the unit, and then you receive the unit. And
Do you get a title deed in your name?
well, you still haven't paid for your unit, right?
Okay, so what happens?
So you continue to pay. When you have paid your unit in full, you receive a declaration from the developer that you have paid for your unit. And once the developer has finished the entire community, has built the entire community, then they register that community within the authorities, and that's when you can receive your title
deed.
and the registration of the unit.
Okay, is it a full freehold, or is it like a 99-year lease?
Freehold.
Full freehold.
Full freehold.
It's mine, I own it.
It's all yours.
My kids,
For
my
your-
grandkids,
yeah.
all of them. Who manages your communities?
We have a facility management team, and once the community has
Been handed over.
then we invite facility management companies
To tender. Yeah.
for, and that's then a process of quality assurance and making sure that all the details.
So I'm just comparing with what we have in the UAE. So will there be an owners association represented by the owners, or usually in Egypt it's managed by the developer themselves?
Usually in Egypt it's managed by the developer. The developer is very keen on making sure that the development continues to uphold the quality and the standards that they want, because that's their name and their brand and their equity on the line. So
let's say I bought the $4 to $5 million property. When can I resell it?
you can resell it once you've paid 50% of the value of the unit.
Only on handover.
Only on handover. However, sometimes we do make exceptions for people who are interested to upgrade, for example, to do things like that. Then we do take care of that.
Okay. How has it been for you in the previous projects that you launched? Have you managed to hit the completion date that you promised your clients?
We are hitting our completion dates today in the Med. So we're going to be delivering our first beach residences by the end of the year. And we will see together these beach residences once we visit the site. So we're on a very tight schedule to ensure that all the properties of phase 1 will be delivered on time.
We've spoken a
Incredible
lot
journey.
about the Med and the project in Sahel, but I also know that you have a project in Cairo.
Yes.
So tell me more about that.
Hills of One. We named it Hills of One because we have one floor, beautiful villas that are built on semi-hills. And it's a small project. It's not a huge project.
How many units?
I said this one is about maybe 1,000 units. So it's 170 acres. And it has a non-residential part. But the beautiful part about this project is the design of the homes. So we decided that why can't we, when you enter a community that is all made of one-floor homes, it's a very different feeling because you see the sky, and you see the landscape, and you see the trees in a much less intrusive feeling than the city with skyscrapers. And so we decided that we want to give people that feeling of once they enter the community, they're uplifted. And also the design of the homes, the U-Villa that I was telling you about, is a big part of that
Okay.
project. And so and we use a really nice authentic stone from Egypt for cladding these homes, and we created a very I think it's like a designer destination. So designers love to
Wow.
buy with us, and because we really speak their language, and the language and the vocabulary of the architecture are all made to give you this soothing feeling of entering into your home.
What's the starting price of Hills of One?
Hills of One, we also have apartments. Some of the apartments are serviced and branded by Gray. So we have a Gray residence village within that Hills of One, and it's a perfect pick for somebody who lives in the UAE and wants to invest in Cairo. First of all, they're beautifully designed. They're just 2 stories high. Almost all of the apartments have these unique entrances, almost private entrances. And for all of these apartments, we have built what we call the lobby building, which is literally like a hotel lobby, a big building with huge living rooms, so people can gather and interact with each other. It has a restaurant, it has a cafe, it has a beautiful pool, and it has all the services that you need. And that's all going to be serviced by Campbell Gray. And the beautiful thing about this is that it's across the road from the New Sphinx Airport, which means that this will be a perfect unit for you to be able to rent out and get
as a surface property
and get premium rates for it. Because it's not just a regular residential unit. It is a unit that is actually it is a house or an apartment that's actually designed.
So was the
for that.
design also influenced by Campbell Gray?
Yeah, we work very closely with
With them.
Campbell Gray.
So what's the starting price?
The starting price in these units, I believe, is 18 million for a 2-bedroom,
So around
which is around
$380,000.
around $300,000. Yeah,
Okay.
320, $330,000
And when are they due for completion?
in 4 years' time.
4 years.
Yeah. We also have other apartments.
Same payment plan, 5%
Same-
over
same-
8 to 10 years.
8 to 10 years, exactly. And we're going to be launching new apartments in this community. They're not going to be serviced apartments, but they're gonna be much better in terms of the economy of the price and the efficiency of the units. They're going to be very well priced. The west of Cairo, before the opening of the museum, is something, and after the opening of the Grand
gonna be
Egyptian
something else.
Museum, it's going to be something else, and it's going to become a very high-end touristic destination.
If you were not in real estate,
Ah.
what would have been your career?
And
Because you've been doing this for over 20 years.
yeah, but you know why I'm doing this? Why I'm doing this with a lot of passion is because I've done so many different things in my life.
Ah,
So I started out as a site engineer. I'm a construction management graduate. And I started out as a site engineer, building these types of homes, by the way,
But for other people.
in Saudi for other people. And I was a consultant. I was a very, very, very tough consultant. And I had a Lebanese boss that taught me everything. That taught me how to be tough and how to be nice and how to do
لا بس
all of these
Lebanese are
things.
not tough usually.
كان لسانه. And then I got into the restaurant business. My father was the founder of El Bake restaurants. If you know El Bake, so I get into the restaurant business because he wanted to expand into Egypt, and so I learned service, hospitality, the hard way, really, and fast food, how you do that, and then I joined Aramex. And I worked I was very lucky to work with Fadi Ghandour for a few years. And I learned so much in that company. But definitely, when you are in the logistics business, you understand the value of time.
Yes.
Time is critical. Everything is time critical. So I understand the value of the second, because that plane is going to take off with that shipment if you don't deliver it on time to that plane. And that customer on the other end of is not going to be happy. And we had hundreds of thousands of shipments. So we understood innovation also in Aramex. We were on email before anybody else was on email. That was back in what, 95 or 92, 93?
Sorry, I was not born in 95.
So I think the diversity of all of this, when I came into real estate and I would be sitting on the table, I would be the best to know about hospitality, the best to know about service, the best to know about construction, the best to know about design. And that's where all of these, diverse kind of experiences came together. And I was like, oh my God, that's because if you're in real estate, you really have to understand everything.
Yes.
In real estate, it's like the hardware of life. That's how we live.
One last advice to young entrepreneurs, people that look up to experienced individuals like yourself. What would you advise them?
I was actually advising a young man recently, and he was saying, I don't know what to do. There's AI, there's all these changes, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I said, stop thinking. Do. Just do. Do not waste your time thinking. There's something called analysis paralysis. Don't get paralyzed by thinking and overthinking. Just do whatever you feel like doing, and it will come. Eventually, it will come. Things come together in ways we plan, we try to set a course for ourselves. But you know as well as I do that if you're not prepared at the time the opportunity comes, then it's a wasted opportunity. And the best way to be prepared is to get busy. Don't slouch. Don't sit around thinking about what to do. Just do it. That's the best advice I can give.
You're so passionate about what you do, and it's very obvious that you are very hands-on. What's the most rewarding part for you as a CEO?
I honestly get the ultimate satisfaction when I see a client and they tell me, this was my dream home.
Wow.
Because that's when I get that gratification that all the hard work that went into the design and the thinking of these units actually transformed into something more human. Somebody having that emotion, somebody having that connection with their home. And look, we're in the business of...
So you prefer end users more than investors?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
But they are more picky.
Absolutely.
You were telling me that you were going to transform this table right here into a design bar where people are going to choose their own.
Yeah. I mean, that's how we're changing things. That's how we really see things differently. We really look at it from the people's perspective. And I honestly believe that once you are building and designing for end users, that's the highest appreciation that an investor would be able to get. Because the occupancy level of any community determines the appreciation and the value
True.
of these units.
True.
We've seen a lot of beautiful, beautiful developments that are empty.
True.
And you know very well, you know, that there are different entry levels for any investor. You can invest off plan. You can invest while the property is being built. You can invest before handover, and you can invest after handover. The highest appreciation comes when occupancy goes up. You know, we kind of like have been dabbling with this supply-demand equation. So how can you, if you have a big project like 400 or 500 acres or a couple of thousand acres or whatever, how do you fix the supply-demand equation? Because you have a lot of supply, right? Could be a massive project. And I believe we solved that through the designs. So in some of these products, we have a 1 of 10. So only 10 designs from this unit. And even though the project itself has 2,000 units, there's a product that has 10 units only. And so the supply of these units is so limited that the demand will be like, you know,
it's inevitable that it's going to increase.
It's going to increase. And we are doing that with all of our villages. So we limit.
So basically, you have a plot of land. This plot of land, they don't get to choose what design they want on their plot of land. It's already preset.
Yeah, it's preset.
Preset.
But we divide them into villages, right? And within the village, there are different prototypes. There are different designs, different types. And we make sure that these designs are always within the supply, the limited supply kind of concept, limited edition kind of concept, especially with the high-end units. And that allows you as an investor to look at this and say, I'm buying 1 out of 20 units only, or 1 out of 10 units, or even 1 out of 50 units. That's still extremely limited.
Especially in Egypt.
Especially in Egypt, right?
Yeah.
So I believe that we kind of worked out a supply-demand equation just through a design solution.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. Thank you.